infinite lives here. But yeah, like you were saying earlier, there's a lot of 2-2s, really good matches, and we are on our way.
Ooh, getting some bombs early on. That's nice that you don't really have to farm anything in escape. Wouldn't be surprised if Uncle gives them bombs just because they got early bombs here.
Yeah, it's always nice to get bombs in that first chest and then get an actual weapon from Uncle. So they don't have to worry about farming, and yeah, they'll be good for the end of escape when they need to hit that wall up. Let's see what Uncle's going to give them here today. Fire!
That's a good weapon. Most of the seats you're gonna need a fire source anyways, and it's a very effective weapon to take out more or less any enemy, especially this early on.
I agree. Fire Rod, multiple reasons why it's really good to get that from Uncle. Fills up your magic bar, it acts as a weapon and fire source, and a light source in certain areas if you're going to do some dark rooms. But yeah, I mean, Fire Rod definitely really good to start out with.
Yeah, I think the only like negative thing about getting the fire rod is that you can't really farm all too much with it, but since they already have free bombs, they're probably not gonna need to farm anything anyways.
Yeah, very true. Good point. All right, let's see. We get the first chest here in Escape. And it's just a map.
Yeah, you're gonna find a map sooner or later in Escape. Might as well have it out of the way straight away.
Yep, as they make their way through Escape, we'll give you a little bit of background on our runners today. Chisame is one of the newer rando runners. He's been running since about January of this year. But I've been doing tons of races with him just in regular SSRL races, and he's been performing really well. Kelpsey as well has been almost about a year now, has been doing randomizers, and she has excelled very quickly with tons of practice. Both more of Kelpsey has done a lot of NMG runs. She's been doing a lot of practice on that. Chisame's done one NMG run, but he did it to get more familiar with himself with Randomizer, which can go hand in hand in some situations.
Yeah, I can see that. And we saw a little bit before the race started here. Both of the runners were practicing some of the harder fights in the game, and both were doing a very good job at it.
Yeah, I did notice that Chisame was practicing some blind fights with a hammer, which is a situation that you could run into a lot. There's a lot of times where you could run into that dungeon without having a sword, and you have to do it with Samaria, hammer, whatever your weapon of choice may be. So that's always those really weird situations where you have to fight bosses with just unusual weapons is always really good to practice just for Randomizer in general.
Yeah, and especially in this new version of Standard where you're not actually guaranteed to get a sword.
Yeah, exactly. It's different because like in open mode, you kind of have to practice for that, but now in Standard, the new logic, it does require you to be a little bit more versed without the sword starting out.
Yes, both our runners are making good time here in Escape so far. They want to try to get through Escape in about 6 minutes, and both are having a really good time to making that.
Yeah, absolutely. Kelpsey took a little bit extra time getting the chainball dude down because she used the 2-pot method, and I think she mostly did that just to conserve her magic, just in case the sewers give her a little bit of an issue. She doesn't have to worry about running out of magic for an actual weapon going through, so not a bad idea at all.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. You want to make sure that you have enough shots to take that rat down. It can be a little bit tricky sometimes, so having more than 1 or 2 shots it's not a bad way of having it.
Yeah, if you run out of magic, then you got to resort to bombs, and that's just never fun. But other than Fire Rod from the uncle, nothing so far. But we're going to see the last 3 chests here in Escape, and of course the Sanctuary chest. See if they can grab anything else out of Escape.
Yeah, most of the times I haven't seen Back Escape be too exciting. Kind of like this one, but it's always nice to have it like out of the way. You don't have to think about going back.
Yeah, having to route in the back of Escape later on always seems to be more of a forgetful thing than a nuisance thing. Because you have to remember, oh, there's 3 chests down there that I didn't get first time through. I should probably go back and get that.
Yeah, and we saw both Chisame and Kelpsey going to the far left there, going up through the Back of Escape. That's a very good way of making sure you can't be hit by the bats. But unfortunately for Chisame, one of the rats decided to tackle him anyways.
Yep, so other than the uncle, really just the Fire Rod starting out. So that kind of gives you kind of like a little heads up as to how the seed is going to go. You're starting out a little scarce, so you're going to have to do a little bit more digging for items than usual. And the first item pull here from the tree is some red rupees. That's actually not too bad coming up to Kakariko.
Yeah, you want to make sure you have enough money to visit the bottle vendor, and with that tree pull, it gives them enough money to just check that straight away. Also having 2 bombs left from Escape, so they don't have to run down to buy bombs for checking the well and blindside.
Yeah, exactly. Lumberjack tree just having a piece of heart, so no worries there unless they need to access the Dark World via Aga, but we'll find out later if that's needed.
Yeah, both of the runners having the same mindset at the very start. At least it's always nice to see if you have to beat Aga or not.
Yeah, I like getting that check out of the way. You know, it's very, I wouldn't say rare for a required lumberjack tree, but it's nice just having the knowledge of knowing if there's going to be a required item in there that I need or not, you know, right away.
Yeah, I think the 2 most standard ways of checking it is either doing it straight after Escape, or you do it when you get the boots, because you can just pair it together with the bonk rocks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's actually a good point. You can pair it with bonk rocks in your routing. But Chisame heads into Thieves' Hut here. Usually a pretty good start to when you're heading into Kakariko, and nothing so far in the first 4.
Yeah, they've gotten a couple of hearts so far, and that blue mail is going to make those hearts even more valuable, but it's not really giving them any progression quite yet. There's another piece of heart. There's a lot of hearts and red rupees so
Wow.
far.
Yeah, tons of rupees, tons of hearts to start so far. Not a very giving seed at the start, but yeah, and an arrow upgrade from Bottle Merchant. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah, if we keep going like this, South Shore or Eastern is going to be packed.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chisame being forced to go buy some bombs. Luckily, we have tons of rupees to do so. It doesn't have to really farm for rupees or anything. So you can just go down, buy 10 bombs, and then continue on their way. Might see Kelpsey do the same thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see the same thing here from Kelpsey. And there's another red rupee.
Yeah, rupees were not an issue in cases if they are, and you don't feel like farming. There's that little hut to the left that you can kind of farm from as well. If you have one bomb, and there's like a 50-50 chance of one bush there having a bomb as well right before the hut. Sometimes I'll take that chance if I'm low on rupees, if I'm feeling lucky, but a lot of the times it's just safer if you have the money just to go buy bombs instead.
Yeah, so we've seen everything here in Kakariko except for the race game, and we haven't really gotten anything at all so far. Yeah, nothing on the race game as well.
Wow.
So I would be guessing that both our runners most likely are gonna head down to the South Shore. It seems to be the most standard route to do after checking Kakariko. Got a fast little map check there, and it looks like Hera is a pendant today, and the other two Light World dungeons seems to be crystals, I think.
Yeah, that was such a quick map check, and I'm used to quick map checks. That was very fast, and the only one that I saw was Eastern was a crystal. But yeah, I do believe it was Eastern Desert or crystals, and Hera's a pendant. And yeah, you were correct. So Desert was one of the pyramid fairy crystals.
Yeah, those two can be quite nice getting on early if you want to check that pyramid. Hey, and there's the hookshot in the dam.
Hey, there's an item, you know, a game, something in the game that we need, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't really do anything by itself right now, but it's definitely a nice item to have, especially going into minimal room caves, since the hookshot can one-shot every single one of them.
Yeah, I love having early hookshot. Especially, wow, I'm surprised that did not blow up the wall. I love having early hookshot, especially before you get boots, because it can speed up your movement. You can grapple onto things. Like you were saying, it one-shots these mini Moldorns. It's also just a really good weapon to have before you get a real weapon.
Yeah, it's a very versatile item. You can use it for so many things.
There's a sword and a glove.
Okay, so now we're starting to get somewhere.
Finally, some progression in this seed, and it took us all the way to get to Mini Moldorn Cave before we find anything. But looks like Chisame's going to probably go ahead and head over and clear out Ice Rod Cave, and may actually... Nope. Yep, I was right. I was going to Ice Rod Cave. I was curious if he's going to fake flipper and go check the hobo, but I think this is a good check. Get this one chest out of the way, so you don't have to worry about it later.
Yeah, I think so as well. You're in the area early on. Just check it, just in case something important.
Especially with how frugal this seed has been with progression items.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, what do you know? Another red rupee.
So the glove that we got doesn't really. The only thing it opens up at the moment is Sora. But if you want a sequence break, you can actually go up to Death Mountain as well. And with that hookshot, you can check everything on the east side of Death Mountain.
Yeah, and I think that's where Chisame's gonna head there now. Definitely gonna be breaking the logic here by gonna be doing looks like maybe the dark room to get up there without the lamp. It's not too difficult. It's pretty much a straight shot through it. Having the sword as a guiding point definitely helps out as well, rather than just kind of like fumbling your way through the darkness. Hold out your sword, the beam will kind of guide your way. And Kelpsey is actually going to go ahead and it looks like head over to Eastern and check the hut behind Sahasrara.
Yeah, Kelsey's gonna follow the logic for now, just to see if there's anything more of importance over here. Chisame might be thinking that the only thing of importance in the eastern area is the lamp, and they don't really need the lamp to go up Death Mountain anyways.
Yep, absolutely. And Chisame makes his way up there. Ooh, and old Sassy Rassy there with the Cane of Burna.
It's a good safety item to have, and it's just a good item overall to have if you're finding yourself in a little bit of a trouble.
Oh, and we have boots on top of Spectacle Island. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and inside were the silver arrows as well. So Chisame is definitely gonna be on the lookout for that mirror at this point.
Yeah, those boots are mirror locked. That is the only way to gain access to them. And Kelpsey is going to go ahead and straight right into Eastern. I don't hate this move at all, mostly because she's going to be playing by the logic right now. She knows she doesn't have the lamp yet, so she may be able to get some important items before the Dark Room in Eastern at the very least.
Yeah, I think both of the calls from our runners here have a lot of value to them, but it really just turns out to see which one's gamble pays off more.
Yeah.
Or at this point, it isn't really even a gamble; it's just a raw divergence.
Pretty much, yeah. It's not so much a gamble. It's just really... Oh, and there's the Moon Pearl in Eastern. Wow. It's really just deciding if you want to take the chance on getting the multiple items you can up in Death Mountain rather than checking, what's in logic right now with the dungeon in Eastern. But the Moon Pearl in Eastern right there, that alone is where the seed definitely wanted you to go.
Yeah, that's gonna force Chisame to go into Eastern sooner rather than later, because that Moon Pearl is gonna limit your options quite a lot.
Yeah, unfortunately it will. Kelpsey with a pretty nice Stalfos room there, and we're going to see if this cave pays off for Chisame. Ether Medallion, Heart Piece. Got our first bottle and another small heart piece. Looks like he might head back up and check Spiral Cave. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and bomb jump here.
It's gonna hurt to check Spiral Cave when you know where the boots are. But
yeah, that's true.
But it doesn't really make a lot of sense to skip it at the same time. Like, you went up here, you don't want to skip items up here.
Yeah, I mean, because that could very well be your mirror as well. So yeah, good point. And a sword upgrade on the island up here. That's not bad at all. So they know where they can at least find a guaranteed sword once they find the necessary items to get to Darkwood Death Mountain, and they're going to need a mirror to grab that as well. But yeah, not bad.
Yeah, so the mirror looking two really good items so far. Kelpsey did find all the items in Eastern, so they won't have to go back there until they have the bow, or really until they are in go mode and just finish off the boss.
Yeah, definitely a Eastern double dip if you ever seen one with Moon Pearl in there and no bow yet. So that is definitely a required check, and we're actually seeing Chisame head over there now, and we're gonna see Kelpsey head up to Death Mountain and take the exact same path Chisame did. It's very linear seed so far.
Yeah, like in terms of the logic, I think the only two things we can check at the moment that we haven't seen already is Kelpsey is preparing a Houlihan room here. She's thinking of Sora.
Ooh.
Because, yeah, I was going to say the only thing we have in logic at the moment should be Sora and Agnes Cave.
I like this move. Quick 200 some odd rupees. I think it's almost like 300 somewhere. I never actually counted it, but
I think
this is a...
Yeah, I think it's 255, but
Yeah, There you go. Yeah, this is a really quick rupee grab here, and like you were saying, really good for if you're gonna plan for Zora coming up here very soon, which is in the logic right now.
Yeah,
Definitely could have something there.
She was checking the stun price there as well, but it was only a single bomb. But with the moon pearl, she could also check the waterfall cave by going up to Sora and checking Hobo in the same process.
You know, I think she's actually gonna possibly do that. Looks like she's heading down to that area. She's gonna fake flipper, head up to Waterfall Ferry, and with the Moon Pearl, yeah, you can what we call Jesus glitch walk there and check the waterfall and Zora at the same time. Won't be able to get that ledge item, but we'll be able to see what's on it, and more importantly, head up to Zora. And she's only about 41 rupees short. She'll be able to get that somewhere.
Yeah, and even though she can't get the item, like just having that information that if you have to go back or not that's good enough, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. Absolutely. And Lake Hylia Island with just a heart piece there as well. Full heart piece.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see them go out of their way to get hearts
I
anymore
mean,
this season.
the 21 minutes in, and they're already looking pretty healthy right now. So yeah. So she's definitely checking the hobo first. Probably go ahead and see her fake flipper out of this screen as well, and just some more rupees there.
Yeah, not bad actually, because now they just need 21 more rupees to be able to check Sora.
It's very convenient. Yeah, 20 rupees there. Gets the fake flipper out of hobo first try. Very nice. Chisame having some fun with Stalfos here, and he makes his way through. And he already grabbed his Moon Pearl. He doesn't know it yet, but he's pretty much good to go. But he's going to go ahead and full clear this dungeon as well as Kelpsey is going to head up and see what the Zora area has in store. So the way this glitch works is if you have the Moon Pearl and you fake flipper up to the Zora area, you enter this cave, exit, and then re-enter again, and it allows you to check these two chests in there, which unfortunately had nothing this time around. And then once you exit, you are walking on water.
There's just one more rupee for Kelpsey to need to farm up before.
All that too.
So yeah, she's jumping out of the water because she want to take a little bit of time here to kill some Zoras, hopefully. Yeah, there's a single rupee.
There we go. 5 hundo on the dot and a bloopy on the ledge. So no need to come back here once Zora has been checked. Very nice.
Yeah, and with having only exactly 500 rupees, this better be something good from Zora. We don't want to see a life lesson this time.
Yeah, this better be something really good. And it is in the logic, although Kelpsey did take a kind of logic-breaking way to get up there. Zora itself is in the logic. And we have the Cane of Samaria!
That's definitely worth 500 rupees, but it doesn't give them any progression at the moment, and Chisame is heading down to Agnes Cave, where we're probably gonna find a progression. And at this point, wouldn't be surprised if it's the hammer or the Titan Smiths, because that would give us Dark World access.
Absolutely. Yep. I couldn't agree more. And yeah, Chisame is going to go ahead and take the this desert rupee horde here instead of doing the Houlihan room, which is a little bit slower, but not too bad. You gain about it's like 60-ish rupees here, like somewhere around that room.
Yeah, I think it's 50 per entry.
Yeah. And decides to only do it one time and then head over to the desert area. Probably need to check to see what's on that ledge in Agnes Cave. And what do you know? Kelpsey is heading her way there as well. All right, Agnes Cave only requiring one bomb to gain entry into this chest. And there it is, the hammer. That is exactly what we needed for Dark World access. What a spot for the hammer there, out of the way. Chisame also picking up the hammer. They are both pretty much on the same path here.
Yeah, the only thing I can see right here is for Chisame is gonna enter the Dark World right now. Might be a while before the Shexora. Then again, the cane is only needed for 2 dungeons, so they might not really need the cane straight away, but that's something to keep your eyes on about. And ooh, Feastone
Oh,
is a
there.
pendant.
Yeah, there you go. T-Rock is a crystal, so definitely need Samari for that. And then Meyer being the green pendant, Thieves being the blue pendant, and it looked like Swamp was the other pyramid crystal.
Yeah, that's what I saw as well. And both our runners are gonna check Hype Cave straight away here. I like that
Yeah,
play.
I like this play too. 5 items in here, and definitely want to check it early as possible. Red rupee, 10 arrows, piece of heart, piece of heart.
Yeah, so I don't think we're allowed to call that a Hype Cave this run.
Nope.
Like, not even the heart pieces were a lot of hype because they already have so many hearts.
I know, right? Very unhyped cave to start out here. But you did mention something with Chisame not heading to Zora yet, so it is going to be interesting when he does eventually make that play. Zora with a required item right now is a little bit troublesome for him unless he manages a way to route himself up there, or something that forces him to route himself into that area. Maybe he feels like checking Catfish later. If he has the mirror, he can do pretty much that whole top right area of the map. But we'll have to keep an eye on when he does make that decision. Flute Boy with just more rupees. And oh, we haven't seen the Sig Kid visit yet either. And just some bombs.
Oh, and Kelpsey is heading over to the game, but doesn't have enough money to check it.
Yeah, that does take, I think it's like 75 or 80 rupees, right?
Yeah, 80 rupees.
80.
So it's gonna have to skip it out for now, but probably gonna go and head into the same route as Chisame is doing right now, just going to Outcast and Skullwoods area.
Yeah, I mean, it is unfortunate. She didn't have enough money, but that would have been the last location she would have been able to check in that area anyways, unless like Big Game had Titans, because she couldn't proceed forward without Titans. So it would have stopped there either way. We'll just have to see if she manages to route her way back down there at any time.
And it's looking like Kelpsey might actually decide to go up the mountain here instead.
Yeah, she hasn't made that visit yet. I don't blame her at this point. She's looking for maybe a little bit more progression heading into the Dark World. Before she heads into the Dark World, she wants to get this big chest overhaul over on the right-hand side of Death Mountain checked first before she ventures into the Dark World.
Yeah, so she will be getting all the items that Chisame got, but she will actually also be able to check Spy Cave if she wants to.
Oh, that's right. She does have all the requirements met for Spy Cave with Hammer and a Cane of Burna. We'll have to see if she manages to route that in. She'll also gain knowledge of boots on Spectacle Rock on top, with also getting silvers underneath. So, yeah, this could definitely be very helpful for her. Let's see if it plays out. Oh, just barely missing the Wall Master on Chisame's side. Very nice.
Yeah, and Chisame hasn't found a single item so far in Skullwoods, so it might be possible that both items are locked behind the back of Skullwoods, but they do have the Fire Rod, so they could full clear this now, even though doing it with a Fighter Sword is not always the most fun way of doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just with a fire sword the fighter sword and fire rod, it's definitely a little rough around the edges getting your way through here. All the enemies do a little bit more damage, take a little bit more damage to kill, but they have a lot of health, so that definitely helps this play as well. Also, chat mentioning that with Hookshot and Hammer in possession, Kelpsey going up there after gaining the hammer she'll be able to do Tower of Hera. So this makes it a little bit more of a lucrative play for Kelpsey going up here now instead of earlier.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, having that fire rod, I could full clear Hera if needed.
Yeah, with the fire rod, you have the fire source if she has to do the basement as well. So I definitely like the play that she's making going up here now.
So we talked a little bit about Chisame practicing some hammer bosses before the run started, and doing hammer Mofula is a little bit tricky at the beginning to learn. But if you can master it, like the tempered, I mean the hammer is basically like the tempered sword. So you only need 4 hits on Mofula.
Yeah, the hammer on Mafia fight is, like you were saying, it takes a little bit of practice to get used to, because the hammer hitbox is just so weird, and you really have to like position yourself really, really close to Mothula to get it. But it does do temper sword damage, so Mothula can go down way faster than the fighter sword if you can execute it properly.
Ooh, and getting a full magic after taking out all the keep those with the fire rod there, that's excellent. Having a lot of magic in the boss fight can definitely make it a lot easier as well.
Oh yeah, so much easier. That makes this fight a ton much more easier with more magic on that fire rod. Because yeah, you have the hammer, but you don't really want to use the hammer if you don't have to. Yeah, if he takes out that hammer, he's going for some hammer shots here. Mothula, unfortunately, gaining a little bit of contact with the spikes, which negates the damage, but still gets really quick hits on him. Fantastic Mothula fight from Chisame, which drops the big key.
Yeah, that was a really solid Mofula fight, even though Mofula decided not to behave.
Definitely decided not to behave there with colliding with the spikes, which will, yeah, like I was saying, negates any damage you take to Mothula. But yeah, really, really good fight. So Chisame gets the first crystal from Skull Woods as Kelpsey heads up into Hera, which she'll be able to get her first crystal from this one. So the route divergence is there, but they are still making really good progression on both ends.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a pendant in Tower of Hera, but it could still be something like that they need in here. Getting a small key early on, the big key is locked in the basement, so you might not get to see a tile room in Ganon's Tower, but at the very least, you get to see it here in Tower of Hera.
This will be your chance for tile room access, man.
So Chisame checked the big chest there, which had the last item in Skullwoods was only 50 rupees. So Skullwoods overall not really having anything of value. That shield is nice to have, but it's not probably what Chisame was hoping to see.
Nah, not at all. Heading down into the Thieves area is going to knock out the C-shaped house first, and we have our flute.
Ooh, that's a good find. Also makes everything that Kelpsey is doing here in logic as well.
Absolutely. So the next time Chisame, unless he picks up the mirror anytime soon, we'll be able to get a quick flute activation here. And chess game with just with a heart piece. All right, so even though Thieves is a pendant dungeon, Chisame is going to really take a little bit of a, not so much of, yeah, I guess it is a little bit of a gamble at this point. Thieves has 4 unique items in it. So first one being the mirror shield already. I'm going to be looking for 3 more there in the rest of this dungeon. See what it pulls up.
Yeah, that's an early mirror shield.
That is a really early mirror shield, yeah.
But yeah, it looks like I think both our runners don't really have too many good places to look right now. Kelpsey is checking a pendant dungeon here, and Chisame as well, but really they don't really have any crystal dungeons open, so it makes a lot of sense.
It's very true. With Skull Woods being the only crystal dungeon that they can do right now, and that dungeon didn't really have anything. So they're kind of forced to at least take a little dip into a pendant dungeon each here, with Kelpsey going into Hera and Chisame going into Thieves. We have a bomb jump coming up here from Kelpsey. Check that big chest.
Yeah, it looks like they got the setup right, and yeah.
Beautiful.
Bomb jump.
That was perfect.
Yeah, they could have used a hook shot, but then they still would have had to take the fall down. So doing the bomb jump, you don't have to fall down any floor at all. So
All right, Kelpsey heads over to the Moldorn fight. Chisame's heading down the Hellway room without the boots. That's always fun. Kelpsey taking out that hammer, which does temper sword damage against Moldorn here. 3 hits and he's done. Oh, he's decided she was getting really close to the edge there. Oh, God, don't fall off.
yeah, so okay, there it goes down. Nice.
Yeah, she switched to sword. You can kind of like bank yourself off Moldorn's head there and prevent the falling. And just a 3 hundo from Moldorn. And the D is in the back of Thieves.
Yes, I think we know where Chisame is gonna head after this.
Wow. Pendant Thieves with the bow all the way in the back. That's never fun.
Yeah, so the bow doesn't really open up any new locations in Eastern, but it does open up Pod, which has 5 locations. Some of them will be locked by the lantern, but as we've seen so far, both of these runners has done dark rooms, so wouldn't be surprised to see both of them just doing Pod in the dark as well.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely see both of them doing Pod in the dark at this point. Definitely Chisame, we've seen him do some dark rooms already, so probably definitely head there immediately after this dungeon. Yep, okay, so we're gonna have to check the big chest here. Probably we'll go ahead and finish the dungeon just in case this is a ped seed, have the pendant in your disposal, so we'll see.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, especially since they haven't found all items quite yet, so it's very possible that the last item is on Blind himself. But no, there's the book.
Oh, wow.
But it still makes a lot of sense to just finish Blind here as well. Still have to make all the walk back up anyway, so
yeah, they don't have the mirror, so they would have to save and quit anyways. And yeah, it really just makes sense to finish the dungeon here, get the pendant just in case it is a ped seed. But the book in Thieves here, as long as Desert doesn't have an important item or key on the lamp needed for boots, they can actually go finish that right now. So we'll see where Chisame heads after this Thieves fight. All right, Chisame takes down Blind, and looks like Kelpsey's going to be heading right into her first visit to the Dark World in the Kakariko area, and it's going to head straight up to Skull.
Yeah, Skullwoods is most of the times a pretty fast check, and they probably want to go south after this anyway, so makes a lot of sense to just do Skullwoods first, especially since that's the crystal.
Yeah, absolutely. Doorless hut just with a bottle, and then Chisame's probably going to head down and do digging game. And then I don't believe he checked the flute boy like Kelpsey did earlier. So probably do those 2 checks, and then he's going to have a decision to make to whether to head straight down to Desert or head over to Pod. Desert only having 2 unique items in its dungeon. Or actually, I'm sorry, it's 3.
No, it's 2.
Oh wait, I'm
It's
sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's 3 if you count the desert ledge.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The desert ledge, if you include that, is 3. So inside the dungeon itself is 2. But Pod, like you were saying earlier, does have 5 unique items in it. So that's a very good dungeon to check early on, especially if you can full clear it. And it is a crystal dungeon. So you're making a lot of progression there by checking that. It is nice to know that Kelpsey didn't miss anything with digging game, but she may end up factoring that in later if she's in the overall checking items.
Yeah, and Kelpsey's setting up the bomb jump here. I don't believe she has the big key, because I think Mafia had the big key.
I believe you're correct, yes.
So yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate, but yeah, there's no big key. Okay.
Yeah, a little rage slashes there, forgetting she didn't have the big key yet. We've all been there. It's okay. But yeah, I got the bomb jump at the very least, and she's watching her health here. If she takes a death in the overworld right now, that is bad news. So she's definitely going to take a little bit more careful steps here, heading to the last section of Skull.
Yeah, when she might decide to check the item like downstairs in the back of Skulls first, and since they don't have too much health right now, they can just take a death orb and then have a lot more health going into Mafia.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is a good spot to death warp if you're going to do it. And that's what Kelpsey decides to do. Very good decision. Get your health back, and puts you at the entrance of the second part of Skull. And just like clockwork, Chisame heading right over to Pod after getting that bow and thieves. So definitely taking it's playing definitely the numbers game right here with the 5 to chest compared to 2 in desert. I like this play.
Yeah, just going by chest density is usually a pretty good play, especially if that turns out to be a crystal as well. Like, you're gonna have to do this sooner or later. Might as well just check the one with the most chest straight away. So it's not bow locked at the very beginning of the dungeon, which is interesting. So if there's something good in the back, you might have been able to get it even if you didn't have the bow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always something to look at once you go in. If that first chest is a key, it is not initially bow locked, but if it is not, then yeah, you're definitely going to want the bow to start out with. And Kelpsey taking another death warp here. Don't blame her, heading into Moth. Want to have as much health as possible, especially with just the fighter sword and fire rod and hammer at your disposal.
Yeah, taking death orbs with blue mail takes a little bit longer, but in the dark world, most of the enemies does at the very least 1 heart of damage, even if you have blue mail. So
yeah, they do a ton of damage. Ooh, vanilla big key from Chisame heading down. And without the mirror, it does make routing a little bit longer. They can't really just warp themselves back to the entrance of the dungeon. So they're taking pretty much all the walking routes. He's going to go ahead and hit up the right side now.
yeah, and Kelpsey just missing that.
No.
Yeah, unfortunately, she took a fall in one of the pits there, so she didn't really have enough time. So that's unfortunately gonna make her spend a lot of extra magic here.
Yeah, there's a small magic in this pot, or in the bottom right pot, I think. Or no, I'm sorry, it's the top pot in this next room. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just keys on the right side of pod. But with the hammer, you're going to be able to take that shortcut and head over to the back end here. I'm going to watch Kelpsey take on Moth here.
Oh, she's deciding to release the bee.
B strats.
The only like bad thing about releasing the bee is that they can knock like you can't really decide in which way they knock Mafia, so they can just knock him straight into the spikes.
Right.
Running a little bit low here on health, is gonna have to be careful. Yeah, this is a tense fight. You can't really afford to take.
Oh. I almost thought she had it there, but yeah, like with the fighter sword, that fight is beyond frustrating. And with no magic now, she is left no choice to either go fill her magic back up or just come back later, which I wouldn't blame her at all if she did.
So here we see a neat trick from Chisame. Having the fire rod, most of these dark rooms in pod becomes a lot easier because you can just use the fire rod to light up one of the torches.
Yeah, it's actually not bad for that room either, and especially because he has not done a Zora visit yet, so he's going to get a ton of rupees in that room. That's going to help him out later. And hey, why not some more rupees?
So this is the only room in pod, or the only, at the very least, a little bit more tricky room in pod, where fire rod won't really help you out. But ooh, getting 300.
Yeah, that was
100 is there, but that's still good.
Yeah, definitely good for a Zora visit now. Whenever Chisame eventually makes his way over to Zora, because we know he's going to need to. And it was another 300, so 600 rupees just in this dark room in pod.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I haven't really found anything good at all in pod except for the money. I'm not really sure if there's an item on Helmasaur or not, but they're probably gonna go and finish this dungeon right now anyways, since they're here.
Yeah, absolutely. Kelpsey will at least be glad to find both of the items here, the bow and what was the other one? The book. Going forward, getting this check out of the way now is definitely good. And then Chisame just goes ahead and death warps out of there. I mean, and so, oh no, he had the flutes. Oh, sorry, the fairy. He was looking for the death warp, but forgot he had a bottled fairy there, which negates that completely. But looks like he's already made his way back to the entrance of this cave here, or this room.
Yeah, I think that's fairy. It's hard to remember sometimes.
I forget almost every single time when I try to death warp and I have a fairy. Like, I never remember. It is very hard to remember when you have one.
Yeah, running a little bit low on health there, but as we saw, there's a couple of hearts that you can just grab quickly there. And having a sword is actually quite nice when you're fighting Helmasaur, because you can just use the sword together with the hammer to just have like an extension of yourself. So
yeah,
the first phase becomes a lot more like easier if you do it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And with silver arrows going forward, the Helmasaur fight will also be a lot easier with what they have right now. With just a fighter sword and a hammer, having that the silver arrows kills Helmasaur in one shot. And I did take a look at the items. Helmasaur will drop the compass, I believe, or it's the map, but it's definitely not a unique item. It'll be the map. Okay, cool. So Kelpsey picking up her bow. Chisame heading through the dark room of the turtles. I'm surprised he's not. Oh, okay. He's gonna head into this room now. Okay. I forgot which dark room he was in. All right, now he's in the turtle dark room.
Yeah, we see him switching to the fire rod. And
There we go.
even taking one of the turtles out with the fire rod as well.
Yeah, I saw that. You decided to do the hammer hit first and then say, then I'll light that torch. But going into pod with either if you don't have the lamp, but you do have the fire rod, going into that turtle room, you can light that torch, makes it so much easier. And kind of actually, a lot of runners won't even go into pod if they don't at least have the fire rod.
Yeah, that room can definitely be tricky.
So Kelpsey is about to pick up her book in the big chest. And we know that the map is going to be dropped from Helmosaur, but Chisame will be getting the second crystal in his inventory. So he's definitely taking a little bit of a lead here in just terms of crystal progression.
Yeah, and we see Kelpsey here. She's definitely decided to finish the dungeon as well. That's gonna give her full magic refill, and there's also, if she decides to check the rest of that village first, she's also gonna get that fairy. So it's gonna be interesting to see if she decides to take another try at Skullwoods or just leave it for now.
Yeah, that's very true. She'll get the full magic and health refill, and if she decides to go down to the doorless hut, she'll be able to pick up that bottled fairy as well. So we'll see what decision she makes after blind here. But Chisame finishes up pod, kills Helma, one shot with a silver arrow, done and done.
Yeah, he's probably gonna go activate that flute now, and wouldn't be surprised to see them go to desert after that. So Kelpsey just needs one more hit here. There we go.
Ooh, down to the last half of heart. Very good. Yeah, we're also going to have wait to see. I'm pretty sure we'll probably see Kelpsey clear out the rest of Thieves Town here. Well, she'll be able to pick up her flute as well. As Chisame activates his flute. Salute! Kelpsey gets her flute.
So yeah, looks like Chisame decided to go for desert. It's another crystal dungeon if you can complete it. So
yeah, we'll find out if there'll be boots locked out of this dungeon, whether that lamp item is a key, big key, or required item. But if it's a big key, or if it's not the big key or small key, they can still finish it. They'll just have to come back once they find the mirror and then get the boots. But yeah, this is pretty much the next play as far as logic goes. Head straight down to desert after getting that book in Thieves. So now with Kelpsey knowing that she has enough rupees to do digging game, she's going to go ahead and down and complete that task. Oh, compass.
yeah, getting a compass in that first chest, that means that the boots are 100% required for desert.
Absolutely. So desert will not be completable until the mirror is found and they can go and get their boots on top of Spectacle Rock, which both runners have knowledge of. So Chisame, obviously checking it now, knows exactly what needs to be done. And
yes, so...
yeah, looks like he's going to be heading up to Hera now.
Did Chisame ever check the pyramid? I'm not sure.
No. No. The pyramid was not checked yet.
Okay, so I think the only 3 places we haven't seen so far that could have the next progression should be Pyramid, Catfish, or Spy Cave as well, because Kelpsey never checked that when she was up here.
Yeah, and Chisame can actually knock that out while checking Hera as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the remaining locations that our progression item could be in.
Yeah, and already Chisame has already checked the spiral cave, so when they're done in Hera, they don't really have a choice of going to Spy Cave or Spiral Cave, so wouldn't be surprised to see them jump straight down to Spy Cave after finishing up Hera here.
Yeah, that's very true. This is really the best opportunity to check Spy Cave right now is within the realms of Hera. And we also saw Chisame go check the tablet, which just has a full heart piece in that tablet. But looks like Kelpsey wanted to maybe check Desert and changes her mind to head over to Pod, looks like.
Yeah, she never checked the desert ledge there, and when she saw it was just bombs, she decided to head out and do pod instead.
Yeah, which is going to save her a little bit of time by not checking Desert, because we know that Boots is required. So now she can just go ahead and check that ledge and then head over to the next crystal progression dungeon, which is Pod. So that she knows in her mind that this is the next play that she needs to do. Chisame is getting bodied by tiles, but is actually setting up for a death warp coming up here later. So now he didn't fall asleep and he's not paying attention. He's just set up for a death warp here in a minute.
Yeah, and making sure that they have at the very least 1.5 heart before doing the death warp, because you don't want to get bodied by one of those Moldorms before getting the chest and taking the death warp a little bit prematurely.
Yep, so pretty much both runners are now following in their opponent's tracks as far as, wow, that beetle room was really good from Chisame, using the hammer to kill both the right and the left one and having that middle one fall in the hole. That was really good.
Yeah, the third one was like, no, I'm jumping out of here.
Yeah. That was awesome. But, yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that Chisame is doing the bomb jump here as well, and very good job at doing it as well.
Yeah, both of them doing the bootless bomb jumps, saving some time here by not falling into the hole, by hook shotting across and just going down. So definitely good on both of them doing that. But as both of them are pretty much heading in each other's footsteps, we'll give you a reminder to give these runners a follow, as they are giving us fine entertainment on this Thursday afternoon. Chisame needs to be a little careful there. Going also for the hammer kill here. Very nice. So Chisame finding out Moldorn just has a 300. He's looking at a ton of rupees in his inventory. We'll just see where he decides. See if he's going to take this Spy Cave check. And yes, he does. Very good time to check this. Like we were saying earlier, this is pretty much the best opportunity to get this location checked off.
Yeah, you don't really want to leave it, so you have to go back up the mountain just for a single check. As many items you can check together with other items as possible is usually the right decision.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's gonna open up quite a lot for them.
Titan's mate sitting in Spike Cave is beyond troll. Like, that is such a bad. I mean, it came down to them pretty much checking every other location that they could without having the Titan's mitts. So at the same time, it makes sense that it's there, and then in the other sense, it's super trolly.
Yeah, and it's once again something that's probably gonna lead Chisame away from checking Sora for a while.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's a very good point because Kelpsey getting that check off early is really going to help her out. The longer it takes Chisame to head over to that Zora area to get the required Samaria is good for Kelpsey.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what Tartarok requires, because if it's Ether, they could, by logic at the very least, go in there straight away. But not in Chisame's case, since that Kane is still at Sora.
Yeah, very true. Very, very true.
Then again, going into Tartarok without the Ice Rod might not be something you want to do.
No. I have a feeling, and Bombos for T-Rock, so that's not going to happen anyways. But yeah, definitely going to knock out the Paradox Cave here and Hookshot Cave, definitely in logic here. But Kelpsey going ahead and heading through that dark room using that same strat is Chisame. Pretty much going to clear out everything else from here. Let's see what Hookshot Cave has in store in the seed. Bloomerang. And both boomerangs. Hello.
That's interesting.
Without the mirror, we're unable to get that sword upgrade on the floating island. Kelpsey attempting a bomb jump here to kind of fasten up or speed up this room here, but it's going to go ahead and death warp here. I think she got that fairy bottle though. And there's our lamp.
Oh boy, do you know what that lamp might unlock right now? I think Chisame knows at the very least. They could possibly do Mr. Meyer now, and that's the last pendant as well.
This is true. Oh man, for the logic alone, that lamp. Oh man.
Oh, and it's Ether, but once again, Chisame doesn't have the cane, so they can't finish Meyer.
So now this might prompt Chisame to check more overworld locations to find that Cane of Samaria. It's funny how the lamp is now going to push him, because in his mind he probably thinks that Meyer is the next spot that he needs to go to, but without Samaria he won't be able to finish it. But it looks like he's going to go ahead and check it anyways. Won't be able to finish it, but can check at least all the locations except Vitreous.
Yeah, the only unfortunate thing is that even if Vitreous doesn't hold an item, Vitreous is still blocking 2 items at this point. One from Ped and the other one from Sahasrara.
Yeah, it's very true, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that actually puts Ped into play for at least the Ice Rod, at the very least.
Yeah, there's a couple of items we need. We need Mirror, that could be there. Flippers could as well be there. Ice Rod, as you mentioned, Bombos. There's a couple of items that could be there.
Yeah, absolutely. And both do have the book, but have not really had the opportunity to do a ped check yet.
Yeah, and yeah, without the mirror, it makes it kind of hard to do a ped check. So Kelpsey is wondering here, where should I go? Deciding to flee to 1, and I think the only thing she has to check here on the mountain is Spike Case, so that's going to turn out really good for Kelpsey.
Yeah, this is going to be really good for Kelpsey if she remembers to check Spike Cave here. And yeah, it looks like she's going to head up that way, so that's good.
Yeah, she's going to have to be a little bit careful, because, okay, I think she's going to get a potion before, because she didn't have a full magic and don't have too many hearts at the moment.
Yeah, I don't blame her for doing this either. You want to make sure you have the necessary requirements to actually finish Spike Cave as well. Chisame picking up the Ether Medallion in that first chest, that is not a required item at all, so nothing so far yet. Just one more item to get left in Mire as well, so we'll see how far Chisame is able to get through Mire. And there it is, second item. He knows he's done.
Wait, did he get... Oh, he got Quake. Yeah.
Yeah. The first chest was Quake, and then Bombs was the second one there. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I got a little bit confused there. I was like, Ether, but didn't he need to use Ether to get in?
No. Yeah. Yeah, it was Quake to get in, and then get that second item. So he knows that he's gonna need Samaria to continue. Got both items out of that dungeon, and here goes Kelpsey on her way to get that Titan's Mitt. She's gonna be very, very relieved to find this item, and that's gonna put her back on the right path of continuing progression here. So this is good.
Yeah, for sure. Chisame is looking to do the Smith sequence here. Can do everything in that sequence order except for the Haunted Grove ledge, because you need the mirror to check it.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, so she's gonna have to save him. He's gonna have to save and quit after getting this, and go ahead and do that. A couple of rage slashes from Kelpsey as she picks up that Titan's Mitt. At the same time, she's got to feel very relieved. So she's gonna go ahead. Looks like head to the right of Death Mountain, check Dark World Death Mountain, Hookshot Cave, pretty much everything that Chisame just checked just a few moments ago.
Yeah, and that's gonna be good for her because she's gonna get that lamp.
Oh yes, that too. Very true. That will.
So far, both our runners has done like half of the dark rooms in the game already, but it doesn't hurt to have the lamp.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Regardless of your comfortability with dark rooms, having that lamp just makes it a lot faster, so you don't have to hug the walls all the way through. And with her getting the lamp also, she's gonna have that in the back of her head. She's gonna know, well, maybe I should go do Mire now.
Yeah, and Chisame taking a little bit of a detour here. Got a shovel from the smith, so
Ooh,
it's gonna be able to check that straight away. This is why people like to have the mirror when they're doing the smith sequence, because it's kind of annoying to do it without the mirror. With the mirror, you can just do everything in one single go. Here you have to kind of divide yourself up and... Ooh, there's bombos though.
Oh my goodness! From blacksmith to shovel to bombos, which is required for Turtle Rock. Wow, what a sequence. So still, no ice ride yet. So Turtle Rock, unless it's sitting in that dungeon itself, is not finishable yet. But I'm actually surprised Chisame does not go check the ped really quickly before heading into the Dark World there. He must be really banking on it not being a ped seed. He's going to go down. Looks like maybe just go ahead and take the purple chest and knock that out as well.
Yeah, in most cases, I'd probably say go out of your way to check ped is most of the times not worth it. But at this point, you're only missing one item in order to be able to finish off Mire, and there's a lot of items you still need. So it could definitely be worth it, but I think if they find the Kano Samaria, they might just do Vitreous anyways.
Yeah, very true. And that is the direction that Kelpsey is heading into right now. Gonna check that left side of Mire and then gonna exit and go straight into Misery Mire. Well, she will be able to full clear and get her first crystal dungeon completed.
Oh, did she not finish pod?
No, she did not.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she checked what she could have in that dark room, and then she pieced out.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it makes sense as well. You got all the items, so... Oh, not having enough magic for opening up.
Oh my god. I can only imagine the amount of rage right there. It's so annoying.
Yeah, they did buy a couple of potions though, so they could have just used a potion in order to open it up.
All right, but it looks like with lamp in hand, Kelpsey might do Eastern here.
Yeah, it's not really gonna give them anything because they got all 3 items earlier, but
Yeah.
then again, like they don't have a personal tracker checking everything for them, or they could have someone actually tracking for them. So they might not remember that they got all items earlier.
Right, yeah, and it's really easy to forget that. But she may also be looking for just crystal progression. You know, she's an hour 10 in, she hasn't got a crystal yet, but she knows that she can get crystals from both Pod and Eastern at the moment. This also kind of gives her a little bit of a moment to collect herself, think of where she wants to go after this dungeon, just kind of like a little bit of a breather moment. It's a dungeon that she knows she can go straight to the exit to and finish without having to worry about anything else. So, and it looks like Chisame might be heading up to do Catfish. Yeah. I am really curious where this mirror is.
Yeah, there's so many items overall that we're missing. Like, even though we have Titansmiths, we have a lot of like things, but we can't really check a lot of areas right now.
Yeah, and without the mirror, Chisame will not be able to factor in the Zora area as well, which we know is where Cane of Samaria is at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see where the decision goes to after this location check.
Yeah, and it's just a big 20 from Catfish.
Just a 20.
Yeah, I think this might be it for Chisame. I think actually Sora might be the only thing left they have in Logic, so...
Yep, yeah, you're right. And yep. Fake flippered right in. Gonna check the Lake Hylia Island. Gonna check the Hobo, and then gonna go ahead and check the Zora area by hitting that warp. Pretty much taking that route that Kelpsey took way earlier in the beginning of the seed. All right, and Kelpsey finishes up Eastern Palace. Armos Knights are no match for those silver arrows, going down very quickly. She went ahead and exited and head straight back to finish up Pod. Gets her first crystal in Eastern, and then she's going to get her second crystal in the Palace of Darkness here. If I were to make a prediction right now, I'd say that Chisame is going to go ahead and get the Cane of Samaria and then head straight back to Meyer to get crystal number 3.
Yeah, Meyer is a pennant, but
Oh yeah, that is correct. Yes.
but I think that might actually be more interesting of doing than going up to Tetrarch. Like, I don't know, there's more items in Tetrarch, but don't have that ice rod. Like, if you're gonna go up to Tetrarch, I think I would at the very least check pet first, just in case.
Yeah, I agree.
You don't want to do everything in Tetrarch for nothing.
Very true. And with Meyer being a pendant, yeah, if you go to do Meyer right now, you're really taking you're putting all of your chips into this being a ped seed before checking the ped. So yeah, that's a very good point. I see a ped check soon if say like the ice rod or something isn't found.
Yeah, I don't know, it's tricky. There's a lot of like things to factor in, but I guess we're gonna see very soon what Chisame decides to do with this. Doesn't save and quit up to the mountain, so
Yeah, so we know we still need the mirror, the flippers, ice rod. We know where the boots are. Boots are mirror locked on top of spectacle, so definitely some stuff to find here.
yeah, it looks like we're gonna get that pet check now. So if
Oh,
anyone in chat is hoping for a pedestal seed, I think this is it. Like we have a lot of items that could be there, and if pedestal is not required, I would not be surprised at all to see Chisame just go straight off the Turtle Rock instead.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if this is a ped seed period.
Yeah, like it's definitely giving us the indications of that so far.
No!
Not a pet seed, but that green pennant could still be something.
That green pendant could definitely still be something, but we are not looking at a ped seed as it looked like it could be. Chisame heads up to Death Mountain, could be making the Turtle Rock player now.
Yeah, I think so. You could get at the very least 4 items into the rock. If you find Ice Rod, you can clear the dungeon and get a guaranteed of 5 items. There's also a good chance that they could find like flippers or mirrors, something required.
Yeah, I mean, this definitely could be a Turtle Rock double dip for all we know. You know, with it having flippers and Swamp Palace having the ice rod, you never know what's going to happen. But I definitely see the play here. The 4 guaranteed items that you could at least get in this dungeon. And Laser Bridge definitely in play right now with both the Mirror Shield and Cane of Burna of having one of those items.
Yeah, for sure. And with the Fire Rod, you can go all the way to Laser Bridge without a problem.
But Kelpsey is about to finish up Palace of Darkness here, getting her 2nd crystal. Both of these are going to be matched up as far as crystal progression goes. And then Chisame heading into Turtle Rock right now. If finds the Ice Rod in here, it could be 3 crystals up, so we'll see.
Yeah, and Kelpsey earlier, she went from higher but didn't have enough magic to go in. So if she never decides to go back and the green pennant doesn't have anything, that's time she's gonna save.
Absolutely, that's a very good point. Ooh, you have a cape in the first chest in Turtle Rock. I don't believe either have checked what is on Bumper Cave yet.
Yeah, I was trying to think about that as well. I don't actually think we've seen it so far.
No, I mean, both of them did make their respective trips up to Skull Woods, but did not take the side route there to check bumpers. So we'll have to see if that plays out. So Kelpsey going ahead and backtracking her way out of pod. Looks like she may factor in a pyramid plus catfish visit here. Let's see.
Yeah, both runners checking the pyramid quite late, but didn't really have a lot of things to put them in that area. So, and none of them is really gonna get hurt by it. I think it was just a bomb upgrade on the pyramid. So Chisame going with the Fire Rod hits here on the pokies that one-shots them. It's a pretty nice way of just taking them out nice and quickly. And there's the Ice Rod in Turtle Rock.
Oh my god. Not even waiting till the laser bridge to give us the ice rod. It's right there in the chain chomp room.
Yeah, that's a major find. It's gonna be able to full clear Turtle Rock.
Yep, that is a full clear for Total Rock. That'll be crystal number 3 for Chisame, and definitely removes having to look for it elsewhere. So making the play to go to Total Rock now was definitely the right play.
Yeah, the way this seed is acting up right now, I wouldn't be surprised to see like flippers on Laser Bridge and then mirror and ice palace or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Vanilla Big Key in Turtle Rock as Kelpsey checking the catfish. Just disappointed to find the red rupee there. Let's see where she goes after this. Looks like she may end up making that play up to Turtle Rock as well. Oh, but she's going to need to get Bombos first. That's right.
Yeah, Bombos was in the
Blacksmith, yeah. Well, the shovel was for Blacksmith, and then the
right.
Bombos was in the dig spot. So yeah, pretty much the Blacksmith.
Yeah, that's right.
But she is heading into the Dark World in the Kakariko area, so let's see if she does end up making that play. Chisame without the mirror won't be able to check Mimic Cave just yet, but we'll be able to, again, full clear this dungeon. That laser bridge is looming right now as to what it could have. I'm thinking it could have something good.
Yeah, we're like, this is so weird because we keep getting items, but at the same time we don't have a lot of locations to check, so
Yep, and just heading over to that area. Yeah, this room here that Chisame is in, if you don't have the lamp, it can be a little bit of a nuisance, but without it, or with the lamp, it definitely makes it 100% easier. All right, here comes our laser bridge coming up here in just a moment. Kelpsey just taking a moment to collect herself. Sword upgrade, first chest.
yeah, it doesn't. Oh, and there's.
Oh my god!
And then red mail as well. Are you kidding me?
So we know this last chest is gonna have the small key, but wow, what a laser bridge!
That's pretty crazy.
We are unfortunate to let everybody know, but Kelpsey unfortunately had to forfeit this race due to some pretty much non-tournament issues.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. We're definitely hoping that everything is okay for Kelpsey, and it's a very unfortunate way to have to forfeit, but sometimes real life stuff comes in the way.
Yeah, and IRL stuff is always way more important than anything you're doing, for tournament races or whatever. Hopefully, yeah, definitely nothing serious, and Kelpsey will be okay. But Chisame heading into the Trinex fight has the newly acquired Tempered Sword. We'll be able to make this fight so much easier than it would have been with just the Master Sword.
Yeah, for sure. if they didn't have the temper, they would probably go for the hammer strats on Trinex instead, but the temper sword just makes it so much easier. You don't have to worry about the menuing at all. It's gonna have to be a little bit careful here.
So close. Man, that second phase, you get down to low health, you start panicking. Yeah, that fight can go sour really quick. Chisame did not get the safety exit either, but did have that exit right before Big Chest. So if he would have took a death there, would have just warped right back to that point. But good kill on his end. Yeah, no lie. Like our tracker, SAGTG said, saved by the red mail, which was also just recently acquired. Without that red mail, we would have seen a death there on Chisame's side, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure. With that newly acquired mirror, can also go and get the butter sword here as well.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, I can go ahead and get the last sword upgrade, which will make... well, it's not a huge difference compared to Tempered, but it does make the Ganon fight a lot easier, especially the first and second phase.
Yeah, and maybe even more importantly, you can go grab those boots finally as well.
Yes, very true. So with a mirror, it gains the access to boots, and then yeah, Chisame is looking good.
Yeah,
Just needs the flippers for go mode.
yeah, that's it. Decided not to go back into Third Rock again to check the Mimic Cave, and I don't blame them at all. I mean, you have so many new locations that you can check right now. So that would be the only place that Chisame is hoping the flippers aren't right now.
Yeah, see, that's what I would be thinking. The second that I got that mirror, which gave me access to boots, I would be heading straight to those boots locked locations. You got the Bonk Rocks, you've got King's Tomb, which is the graveyard or the tombstone in the graveyard, a couple of other places, and more importantly, also Desert Palace.
Yes, it's gonna be interesting to see where they decide to go first. Looks like King's Tomb paired together with the Graveyard Ledge is the first check for Chisame here.
Yeah, Chisame can knock out 3 locations. Bonk Rocks, 4, including Bumper Cave with a recently acquired cape as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow. It's gonna make them be able to check both the magic bat if they decide to do the fake powder, and as well just turning in the mushroom.
Gotta love those fetch for fetch.
And Chisame is also gonna be able to go mode Ice Palace later on, because the flippers can't be in Ice Palace.
All very true. We'll be able to go mode Ice Palace and Swamp Palace, because we know we're not going to find the flippers there as well. So that's 2 dungeons that Chisame will be able to go mode.
Yeah, it's according to most of us, I think the 2 dungeons you really want to do in go mode as well, because it's such a difference in doing it in go mode and full clear.
Oh yeah, completely agree. Yeah, being able to go mode both of those dungeons saves a ton of time, especially Swamp Palace. You can just completely skip every chest location, head straight to the exit. A nice palace, you can bomb jump and then also head straight to the exit as well. So yeah, very good.
That was a very effective way of doing the Graveyard Ledge. Just placing the bomb before picking up any pots at all. So none of these north items here proving to be anything of value except for maybe the mushroom, I guess.
Yeah, boots locked locations not providing anything, nor was the mirror locked location providing anything. But with both of those checked, Chisame's going to go ahead, knock out Meyer first, and then as soon as he finishes up Meyer, he'll be able to mirror out and then do Desert Palace. Actually, looks like he can do Desert Palace first.
Yeah, I think that makes more sense since you might not have to do Meyer. Like
Oh,
if you
true.
find the
Yeah, it's
flippers
dependent. Yeah.
in desert. But
Already
might
got
decide to do Meyer afterwards if they don't find the flippers here.
very true. Yeah, because that would really be the only reason you need to do Meyer is for that green pendant if flippers are still not yet to be found.
Oh, and there's the flippers, so that's go mode as soon as they get the big key here from desert.
There you go. So no reason to do Meyer afterwards. Good choice, and just going ahead and knocking out Desert first with the mirror intact. Go ahead and mirroring out, and then oh boy, oh Chisame was going for the very dangerous spin speed there, heading into the latter end of Desert there.
Trying to. I'm
Um,
not sure what they were trying to do, but
so I just felt like digging for a minute, you know.
yeah, why not? Getting a nice key dash there.
Yep, Chisame in go mode no longer has to check any other locations or chests. Can go mode Ice Palace and Swamp, and then on the way to GT after that.
Yeah, and with red mail, butter sword, silver arrows, like there's nothing really that you want to pick up anyways, except for maybe half magic. But with this item setup, you don't really need
Nah,
half magic anyways.
not really. Not unless you don't feel comfortable with the amount of magic that you have now. But yeah, I mean, you got silvers, you got butter, you got red mail, you got 3 bottles, tons of rupees. You're definitely set up to execute and destroy everything in your path here.
Kind of missed the first cycle there, but very nice second cycle on Lemolans. Even getting the second item from the boss as well.
Very nice. Yeah, the silver arrow quick kill with Lamellus. You can kind of make that a little bit of like a scripted fight if you position yourself in the right area there. But yeah, it can still clean up really well. 1 shot per Lamellus with the silver arrows. And Chisame decides to go to...
Yeah, going for Eastern first, because they never did come back here.
This is true. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, there was really no items on Armos, so they just decided to skip it until they were in go mode. So this is another fight where silver arrows really makes a huge difference.
Absolutely. Yeah. And this seed has made them just go all over the place. So it's like I've totally forgot where they have been, where they haven't been. Eastern was a required double dip just with the Moon Pearl being in here. So they eventually would have had to made their way back to this location at some point.
Using those sword beams there to just take out the second Stalfos.
Yeah, I like doing that. It's always fun.
Yeah, it just makes it super fast. And after finishing up Eastern, like Ice Palace and Swamp Palace, that's gonna be super fast in Go mode.
Super duper fast,
You
absolutely.
only need to check one single chest in both of those dungeons combined.
Yeah, Cold Stare fight's going to be really fast with Butter Sword also, and with Silver Arrows going into Argus. That's going to be a fast fight as well. So we could be looking at a GT here in the next 8 minutes at the least. But as we have Chisame finishing up the Armos fight, I want to give everybody a reminder to give these two runners a follow. They've been putting on a great race for us. Kelpsey, unfortunately, having to take a forfeit a few moments ago for some personal reasons. Hope she gets better. Hope all is well. We're going to cheer on Chisame as he finishes up this very start of a trolley seed. Very frugal, not having anything at all to begin with, really making these runners check every single Light World location before they could get some progression going. And then it really opened up once they got about 2 to 3 crystals in. They were able to find multiple items.
Yeah, the big thing was really going into Turtle Rock, but even before that, like every single item we got just opened up like 2 or 3 new places to check, and unfortunately for both our runners, it turned out to be the last one almost every single time.
Yeah, I mean, like at the start, they were following each other's footsteps and knowing that both of them didn't have much to go off of. I think, didn't Chisame do digging game already?
Yeah, I think he wants to write a message here. That's probably why they try to take out.
Oh, that is so awesome. Oh, that stupid bush! That's okay. Very good message from Chisame. Very good sportsmanlike conduct here, and that was beautiful. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kelpsey being a well-known, very nice rando runner in the community. Everybody knows her very well. I'll wish her the very best. As we root on Chisame heading into Swamp Palace. Using the mirror on that movable block allows you to make it vanish and disappear like Houdini.
Yeah, that's truly magical.
Yeah. There's a couple weird things you can do with items while pushing blocks. You can use the hook shot through them, as we see in a couple instances. You can actually use it there. If you get early hook shot, you can check that first chest and then check the draining water item. You can use the fire rod through pushing a block in mire. That saves some time. Really nifty stuff you can do.
Yeah. You could probably do even more stuff than that, but that's never really needed to do. Wouldn't be surprised if you can like use the bow at the same time.
Yeah. Take it a step further and just use the cape through the block. There you go.
Hey.
But yeah, being in go mode through Swamp, you're going to be able to grab this first key on this pot here and then head straight to the exit. No longer have to check anything else here. And Chisame is all set to go. No safety items needed and anything else. suited and ready to go.
Yeah, there's really no reason to check anything in here, and that's kind of the way you want it to be as well. Go mode swamp. That's what we like to see in every single race, right?
Absolutely. As a runner, yes. I mean, because this seed was looking like it could have been a potential ped seed. It led right up into the pedestal check itself, whether it was going to be a ped seed or not.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it for quite a while there. When the seed gives you everything to complete the pendants, but leaving a lot of the items to do to the crystals, that's definitely when you're starting to think like, wait, there might be something strange going on here.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, see how Chisame handles the Argus fight here. Initially using the poke strats there.
Yeah, because a poke from the butter sword does do temper damage, which one-shots these small puffs here. Switching to the bow here, a single shot with the silver arrows takes down Argus straight away, so getting a good positioning there and just taking it down straight away.
Wow, that is actually a really smart idea of pretty much baiting Argus over to the corner there. That makes that silver arrow shot a lot easier, because Argus can just kind of just like fly everywhere, and you're just trying to like snipe as he flies up and down and diagonally try to get that silver arrow shot.
Yeah, if you miss the first shot, it could be quite hard to get the second one.
All right, Chisame heading over to the final crystal dungeon needed to complete to head into Ganon's tower here.
Yeah, and here we saw the real reason why Chisame picked up that butter sword. He could just dash straight through one of those dancing pickle guys.
So for Chisame being one of the newer rando runners who just started in January, and just from watching this race, I gotta say he has made a big improvement in just from starting from January to now, as far as execution, gameplay wise, routing. Everything he's done in this seed so far has been all the right plays and everything. So I'm very impressed.
Yeah, I think this is the first time that I've actually seen Chisame play. But I've seen him do quite well in a couple of other races, so I actually got a little bit surprised when I heard that they just started playing this year.
Yeah, like same. Yeah, like I have been doing. I've noticed Chisame in just regular SRL races for rando, and a lot of the times he'll be finishing beating me by a large margin. In fact, we were in a race last night where he destroyed that seed, and it was not a nice one at all. So yeah, he's been making really good progress.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good players showing up. Like the random community has been growing so much. It's amazing to see how many new players has shown up during that time.
Yeah, from a year ago, from the first tournament, the first spring 2017 tournament, to the open open mode tournament in the fall, to again back to our spring tournament. I mean, we had 512 entrants into this one. That is more than, I would say, tripled what it was a year ago in this tournament. So it has been a joy to see all the new runners, all the new logic updates, all the new additions, everything. It's been pretty awesome. Yeah, as Lord of the Sense says in chat, Chisame is number 14 on the SRL leaderboards for Rando. That is a very high ranking and not easy to do at all. To be that high ranked in at least the SRL leaderboards. Say what you will about the ranking system there, but that is no easy feat.
Yeah, for sure. Even though it might be hard to like pinpoint exact. Wow, that's a really good fight. But yeah, it definitely gives an indication that they've been doing very well in a lot of races.
That was a fantastic cold stare fight. With the butter sword, does make it much easier. But yeah, it's still a very good fight.
Yeah, getting the spin off to get Coaster in the corner, and especially when having the butter sword, I can make that fight just like that. Very quick one. So yeah, we have 7 crystals now. I do believe that gives us the opportunity to play some form of a game.
Yep. 22 possible locations. We can find the big key in Ganon's tower. One including the lamp location, which is a bonk spot, and then all the way down to tire room, where we could possibly find that big key.
So where do you think the big key is going to be in Ganon's tower?
I go with my trusty number 11, which if they take the traditional route, that puts it in the rando room, top left chest.
Okay, so yeah, that would be if they check the 2 on the right side and then go full left.
Right, yeah, that's if they check the first 2 on the right side and then they go left side from there. And that is also assuming they check in the order that I usually go. But the chest 11, if they check the first 2, puts them in the rando room. Which one are you going for there, Walter?
I don't know. I put in 18 in the chat just because usually I just take a randomized number since we're playing randomizer anyways.
I don't blame you for that.
Yeah, then again, I've never been right ever in the big key guessing games, so I don't expect to see number 18 at the very least.
Oh, I'm feeling confident, man. This is going to be 18 right here. As if they didn't have enough rupees.
Yeah, and it looks like Chisame will not be taking the full left side, going to the right side here instead.
Yeah, I picked up that small key and decided, and sometimes I'll do the same. If I get a small key in the first 2, I'll go right side, and just to get that check out of the way. So I don't blame him here. But obviously, if you get no small key, then yeah, you ain't going right side.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
doing a very good job here too. So right side not giving us much at all.
No. So that's 6 chests so far, and no go. Getting that small key in the pot there. Going to go ahead and mirror out and head straight to the left.
Yeah, so that's number 1 to 6 being a little bit of a bust. Number 7 here, just 300 rupees.
Another 3. I believe that's pretty close to. I think there might be just one more 300 chest sitting out there.
Yeah, I would definitely seen 4 at the very least. So might be one more somewhere. So chest number 8, just a small key. 9, it's just a couple of bombs.
Yo, 11. Give me my chicken dinner.
Yeah, of course it turned out to that you were right that we weren't on the speed gaming box. No, no, I don't mean it like that. I meant more that we're on the A Link to the Past Randomizer channel, so these don't go on the leaderboard, I think.
Oh, you know what? You're right. Yeah, I am. I was
So-
assuming it was in the speed gaming one. So yeah, you're right. Link to the Past Randomizer channel. The leaderboard is in our hearts. Yes.
Yeah.
I rarely get the big key game, but yeah, I'm lucky I got it there. But it's like
Yeah.
one of those rare instances where if you go left side first, it would have been just a little bit faster. But I like making that play to the right side if you get at least one small key in those first two chests.
Yeah, I like the right side as well. I'm actually personally been doing the Dark Magician strats in version 29, and it's been working out at the very least for me very well in most of the cases.
Yeah, I like doing Dark Magician strats every now and then. And if you're unaware of what Dark Magician kind of routing through GT is heading to the left side first, and then checking those first 4 chests in the Stylefless room, and then mirroring out or just making your way back to the entrance, and then heading to the right-hand side and checking it from there.
Yeah, you go Stylefless room first, and then you go full right, so you go all the way to Ice Armors from the right side.
Ooh, just barely missing the one cycle there. And get this last one. Oh, so close. This Lamo quick kill is a lot harder than it looks because you have that fire beam shooting at you the whole time, and then in combination with the silver arrows, it does make that room lag a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing how much just one of those small Medusa head can make that fight a lot harder, or at the very least trickier.
All right, I suppose road room. Yeah.
Yeah, getting the one cycle very nice there.
Gonna go ahead and switch to lamp here, conserve magic just in case ends up missing one of the torches, and looks like Chisame's gonna be good here.
Yeah, it's gonna have to pick up this full magic here, so probably gonna wait a little bit just to make sure it doesn't. Oh, never mind.
Oh, that was really risky, but yeah, you want to wait for that torch to at least in the previous room to go out before hitting that stairs, just in case you hit at the same time. Is it can, I think it's like a soft lock issue if you end up hitting that stairs at the same time as the torch going out.
Yeah, if you go up the same at the exact same moment as the torches go out, you despawn every single enemy.
Oh, that's
in the
right.
dungeon, so you kind of have to mirror out and do everything again.
That's right. Yeah, it despawns the enemies, which I've been lucky enough to not have that happen. And I've gotten pretty close, but I've yet to have that happen. So
Deciding to bomb the chest here.
well, it's just destroy it. It's not important. We don't need that chest.
But what if half magic was there?
What if powder was there? What if the bug net was there?
Oh man, missing out the option of doing bugnet against Aghanim.
Oh, swagging and rip. See how our only Aga fight we'll see in this seed goes.
Yeah, we didn't get to see the first Aghanim fight, but at the very least we have tripled action here.
Get the double on that one. There we go. 1-1, 2-2.
Yeah, so after everything that happened in this race, this is still gonna be sub 2 hours if everything goes as planned on Ganon here.
That's crazy, especially after how slow this seed started. We're still gonna finish hopefully with a sub 2 here. Like you said, as long as the Ganon fight goes well. I was at least thinking this would be a 2-hour seed the way it started.
Yeah, it was starting off very slow. Like even in Kakariko, we didn't get a single item.
And with Butter Sword in hand, that's going to make this Ganon fight so much easier. Pretty much like one of the quicker fights, just having to do it this way. Even without silvers, I mean, it still makes the first few phases a lot easier to handle, especially with these annoying fire bats. Ganon, stop warping.
He's trying to avoid his fate as much as possible, but
Yeah.
you can't teleport forever.
Yeah, the RNG set on how many warps Ganon does is actually set in place the first time you fight him. If you happen to die or fall, then that RNG resets. But it is the same for both runners, their first visit to Ganon. And gets a first quick silver shot in there before hitting that torch glitch. Very nice.
Yeah, and getting torch glitch with the fire rod as well. That's not easy. And getting a double there, so taking down Ganon without any problem at all.
Hey, GG. Yeah, finishing with a double silver shot. Very nice Ganon kill from Chisame. As Chisame walks through those golden doors, he finishes with an official Speed Racing TV time of a 1:56.19. Get your GGs in chat, everybody.
Yeah, very well played by Chisame in the whole seed overall, and we're gonna be joined here in voice chat by Chisame in just a little bit of a moment.
Sounds good. Yeah, beautifully well played by Chisame from beginning to end, even with his, like we said, as frugal as it was in progression items, manages to dissect the seed very nicely. Still gets the sub 2. Very nice all the way around.
Shovel Nose Homecoming. I was like in the credits. It has some good jokes.
Yeah, especially in 29. I like what the changes they did in the credits. They're really good.
And we're joined by our winner, Chisame. GG's.
GG.
Oh gosh, that Zora.
That's Zora.
Oh my gosh, I was putting it on a pet seed for a while. We got, what was it, Ether to go in Mire. I cleared the other 2 pendants already.
Yeah, we started to think that for a while as well, especially since Kelpsey did Sora pretty early, so we knew where the cane was as well.
Yeah, I mean, we were all thinking that this could very well easily be a ped seed until you eventually did make your way over there to check it. And at that point, it could have been a number of things. It could have been Ice Rod. It could have been Mirror. So many options that it was on there. And not only that, but like the seed itself was saying, hey, we have, we're giving you all the items to do ped seeds right now. You can either take the gamble on that or, go somewhere else and try to check for those items.
I was thinking the whole time, you know what, Zora's one region. I don't want to fake flippers it right now because I just need Samart. Because Ice Palace needs flippers, Swamp needs flippers. I'm just gonna wait. And then I realized I cleared my tracker, and that was all that's left. It's like,
Yeah, every time you started to just have like 1 or 2 options left, you got something that led you to checking other things instead. Like you got the lamp or you got the Titan Maze. There's always something that came in between.
Yeah, it was just unfortunate because normally I even farmed rupees before going to Zora, and I prepped a Houlihan. I think when I was going to Desert, and then I found Hammer.
Yeah, that's I think that's what happened, and they got you Darkwood access.
Oh, that was rough.
So yeah, the entire seed was pretty stingy to begin with. Like, you got a couple of items here and there, but didn't really open up too many options every single time. Just a couple of ones.
And then I think what was it? Thief Sound had bow and something else.
Yeah, the bow and the book was in Feaston as well.
And book, yeah. Well, I guess we didn't need book, did we? There wasn't anything on tablet that I can remember, and we didn't need desert access.
Yeah,
No, we didn't.
exactly. You could get the mirror without the book, so.
Oh, so much bait, and I fell for all of it.
Yeah, but I think as stingy as the seed was, you still made pretty much all the right plays you needed to. You eventually had to make your way over to Zora at some point because the seed was forcing you that way. But yeah, I mean, yeah, GG, very well played.
GG's. So I was wondering, before Kelsey had to leave, where was she?
She was just about to pick up the shovel from the smith.
Oh, okay. So she hadn't had bombos yet.
No, but the way that she was routing herself, yeah, she was definitely on her way to head into Turtle Rock just a few moments after you finished it. So she was just a few minutes behind you.
Oh, okay. I was really wondering where she was the whole time. I felt behind the whole race.
I mean, honestly, you two were, I would say you had a slight crystal dungeon advantage for the good portion of the beginning of the seed, and then she caught up by knocking out Eastern and Pod pretty quickly. So as far as crystal dungeons went, you both were pretty much matched up, and then as she was finishing that up, you were finishing up. You actually went into Turtle Rock as she was finishing up her second crystal dungeon, and then once you found the ice rod in there, finished up your third. It was just pretty much just like a one dungeon lead from there. She eventually would have checked blacksmithy at the shovel down to bombos, and then eventually I think she would eventually made her way up to Rock immediately after that. So yeah, in my eyes, very close all the way through.
Whew. I hope the stream liked what I did at the digging game. I have a little issues drawing though.
We noticed that. I'm like, didn't you check the digging game already? It's like, oh, that's what. Very smart, very nice. I liked it.
Yeah, I was going around for a little bit going, where is there enough places to dig?
And then you went to go finish off the cave, and there was a stupid bush there, dude.
Yeah! Too good.
Yeah, we were thinking a little bit before that, like, why is he trying to dig right now? But when he went over to the digging game, it kind of makes sense.
Yep, absolutely. So as we go ahead and finish up here, is there anything else you would like to say about the seed? You are now sitting at 3-2 now, so you're still on that edge. I'm right there with you. I'm sitting at 2-2. My match is tomorrow. I'm fretting right now, so I know both of our tournament lives are on the edge here. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
I wish no one to suffer the same way I am. I started 0-2. Every week is awful. So best of luck to all of us down here. As for the seed, Zora is a one-off location. You should probably fake flipper all of it if you can, instead of leaving it as long as I did.
Yeah, it's such a really like. I mean, I did see like you went to do Catfish and you're like, oh, I didn't do Zora yet. I don't know if that kind of prompted you to do Zora immediately after doing Catfish.
I was really hoping that Catfish had progression and it wasn't Zora, because I think that was it. It was just Catfish versus Zora, and it had no mirror. So it's not
Yeah.
awful doing it.
I was thinking you were hoping for a catfish to have the mirror so you could, knock out the rest of that Zora area as well. So.
No, unfortunate.
Yeah, very stingy seed. Very, very stingy.
I was just glad with everything in Turtle Rock in the desert to finish up the seed. We didn't have to suffer any longer.
Yeah, that Turtle Rock was for sure something. First the ice rod and then that laser
Oh my
bridge.
goodness, that laser bridge. Red mail, mirror, and what was that other item?
Bird.
There you go.
With butter just sitting outside.
Yeah.
The whole time I'm like, is the seed gonna be stingy with swords? Because I know a mirror is out here somewhere, so I guess I'll grab that one.
Yeah, and that red mail came in handy like at the right time too, because of the Trinex fight was a little iffy there. And had you not picked up that red mail, it would have been death.
Yeah, I think it would have been lethal.
Yeah. So yeah, that was awesome.
I'll take all the close calls.
Hey, from you and Kelpsey both. Kelpsey had a very unfortunate moth fight that she was doing with little to no magic with Fire Rod and then Fighter Sword and almost had it still. Probably only had like a few more hits left and then took the death there. But yeah, you had an excellent moth fight, I should say, with the hammer. That was very well executed.
Gotta learn them hammer stats for everything.
I know, man. I gotta learn that too, man. I'm just like, I'll spend the time to get extra magic. I just don't want to hammer this dumb bug. But yeah, very well played. GG. Would like to give everybody a reminder to give these two a follow. They put on a great match. We wish Kelpsey well. Hope all is well. And that we will see more from her later on. But I would like to pimp out the rest of what we have going on tonight. We on right now we have on Speed Gaming 2 Andy versus Prayer going on, which just started just a few moments ago at 8 o'clock. Then at 9 o'clock, coming up here on this very channel, a link to the past randomizer, we have Gloin versus Giselle Shaft, which that should be a really, really good match. Looking forward to that one. Then coming up on Speed Gaming 1, we have Truzzle versus Phyllion, which should also be a fantastic match. At 10 p.m., we have Valkyrie Tiara versus Dr. Calexo on Speed Gaming 4. And then on Speed Gaming 3 at 11 p.m., and these are all Eastern times, we have the Strumpet Player versus Zaphod Beeblebrox. Man, that is a name. And that'll do it for the night of Randomizer going on all across Speed Gaming and Link to the Past Randomizer stream channels. Be sure to check those out as well. But I do believe that will do it from us. I would like to say thanks again to Chisame and Kelpsey for putting on a great match, and GG for the win. Going on 3-2, you survive in the tournament.
Thanks, GG's. I hope Kelpsey things go well for her, and thanks S Diesel and Walter for commentating.
Absolutely, and
also GTG for tracking.
Yes, SAGTG for tracking and Iceman for our restreamers. Thank you very much, guys. You are the backbone of what we do here. And I would also like to thank Walter for joining me on commentary. I appreciate it, man. This was fun.
Yeah, and thank you as well. I had a good time.
Absolutely. And with that, I will say goodbye, and we will see you on the next match. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night, and make sure to check out the rest of the matches for tonight, and all do well. Goodbye.